Hey Rob, good to see you again.
Hey Jim, good to see you as well. How's everything?
Busy, busy, and busy. I feel like I'm moving, but I'm not moving.
I know about that for sure.
It's the same stress that comes with packing. I'm packing all day long mentally.
Yeah. Uh, every day I'm trying to, come up with a new system to keep things, very, very organized.
Yeah, yeah. The other night I go out with some friends of mine for dinner. We try and get together once a week, and one of them is a guy that comes from the UK, and he moved over here years ago, and he goes back and forth sometimes still. We were talking a little bit about international moving. The UK, that is still a popular destination, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been for many years. Probably, I'm sure. Yeah, it's our number one destination in terms of moving our clients overseas, and it's just as strong as ever for sure.
Now, are those younger, older, middle aged,
It's
or
funny.
all of the
It's
above?
it's all over the map because you have some people going for work. There's so much commerce there, and so people are moving from the New York office or the LA office, to the London office or wherever they're going. So you have younger folks that are moving for work. You've got people that are moving for family. You've got people that emigrated for work, perhaps to the U.S. from the UK and are moving back.
Mm,
And then you've got people that are retiring to the UK, back
yeah.
to the old country. Yeah, whole gamut of folks that are moving there.
Now, as far as California goes, where you're located, a lot of these people are in your area, right? The LA area?
Oh yeah, yeah, from LA, from San Francisco, a lot from Seattle,
Yeah,
New York, Chicago, Houston, the
big
whole thing. But
cities.
I would say that LA, San Francisco, and Seattle are the most common.
Yeah, I guess for the people that work, they're looking for a place like a London, right? A big city.
No, no. Well, for work, yes. For work is London for the most part. But yeah, I'm moving people everywhere. It could be London, it could be Surrey, it could be Manchester, Birmingham, up in Wales, some in Scotland. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Now, I have a question. So, when the boat leaves the port, is there like one major port over there that everything comes in through, or
Depends where
many?
it depends where the final destination is. So I might ship into London, I might ship into Southampton, I might ship into Felixstowe. It kind of depends where, we call that, what's the best POE, port of entry.
I got you.
Um, and it's dependent upon a couple of things. First of all, where is the final destination? What city? And what's the most economical,
Yeah. Uh,
which is usually one and the same.
when it comes to, I know economics, I know most people are, you're aware of how much you're going to spend on an international move, moving all of your household goods over, and of course, packing is part of that. I did read somewhere online where they mentioned that you need an agent to pack your belongings now in order to clear customs going into the UK. Is that true?
No. Okay, so let's separate packing. There's two different ways of looking at it. You've got some people say, well, packing, I want you to pack the table and the chair and the bed. Okay, that's wrapping and protecting, and that's furniture, right? Those are big items that do not go into a box.
Mhm.
And then you've got packing of the boxes, your dishes, your linens, your books, your shoes, your miscellaneous artwork, things like that. So, in terms of boxes, I do hear that quite a bit. I heard from a client, I heard that, the agent, you guys, us, must pack the boxes, otherwise it can't clear customs when it gets to the UK or insert country name here. And
Mhm.
that's just not true, at least not with us. We're licensed, we're a known entity. This is what we do. We're a freight forwarder. And no, it really comes down to, would you, the client, like to pack your own boxes? And you can, but there are some stipulations there to keep in mind. First of all, are you able to do it? Are you really? I mean, we're professionals. We know what we're doing. But that service, of course, comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Full packing service. But if you can do it, great. The other thing to consider is, make sure that everything's labeled appropriately. and it's usually not down to the level of granularity, but box number one is shoes, box number two is kitchen items, box number three is books, that kind of thing. And the biggest component is for boxes that are packed by the client. Our client wants to pack their own boxes. They can do that, but then they're not eligible for full coverage insurance
Oh,
on that box. So let's say, they want insurance on all the boxes,
yeah,
but they also want to pack the boxes. Well, those two things don't really go together because it's not our rule, it's an insurance rule. It
yeah,
wasn't packed by a licensed agent. We don't know how it was packed. We don't know if China was packed next to bowling balls. We don't know what's really in there. And they could say it's a Fabergé egg, but no one knows,
yeah,
that kind of thing. So, but to make it a little more complex, sometimes the client will say, Rob, I want to pack my box to save some money. And I know what I'm doing, and I've got the materials, and no problem. However, of my 20 or 50 or 200 boxes, whatever it is, there are 6 that I want to have insured. I say, okay, I tell you what, we'll quote you packed by client, you know,
yeah,
except for 3 or 6 or 4, however many boxes. We can do it like a la carte.
yeah.
So you can just pick those 4 and we'll, charge a small charge for that. But now those are packed by the agent and you can get full coverage insurance on those.
Now, just out of curiosity, so when the packages arrive at their destination, the packages that are insured that were packed by, let's say, SDC, do they have to also be unpacked by
No,
SDC,
no,
or the person can do it?
absolutely. The unpacking by SDC is a service we can also offer. We call that white glove.
Yeah.
So, if all of your things have been packed up, your dishes and yet, da, 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 and we deliver it to wherever, London, England, and the client says, also want you to unpack these boxes and put the dishes in the cupboard.
Yeah.
White glove service, no problem. We can absolutely do that and clean up, of course. But
Yeah.
that's an extra step.
Now, maybe this is like minute detail. People wouldn't think about this, but if somebody wants to do their own packing to save some money, they still have to buy the boxes and they still
That's
have to
right.
buy the packing materials. Do
That's
they
not
ever
a
want
minute detail because I get that question a lot. I
to?
want to pack my own boxes. Can you give me the boxes?
Yeah.
Like, we're not really in the box business. Maybe we should be. I don't know. But no, they have to get their own boxes. I just say, look, you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's or U-Haul or Amazon and get the boxes. And another question that comes up, I'll just step ahead, is, well, is there a certain type of box?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. Just make sure it's a good box. You don't want to have raggedy holes in the box, things like
Yeah.
that. And another one that I get all the time is, can I use those plastic tubs, like a Rubbermaid tub? There's all different
Oh,
types
yeah.
and sizes. And the answer there is yes. They're a little inefficient because a traditional cardboard box, is all 90-degree angles and they fit together like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Whereas the tubs are a little bit, irregular. And
Yeah.
so no matter how you put them together, and they're very convenient and they're very sturdy and they're very strong and they're good, there's going to be air. You're going to be shipping some air when you use those.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know maybe we would have to take a fictitious case, but do you really save that much money if you do your own packing? I mean, you have to go out and buy the boxes anyway, right? And all the material.
No, a client will save money by packing their own boxes. If you're
Oh,
just looking at the ledger, the financial side,
yeah.
yeah, you're going to save some money, generally speaking. If it's a smaller job,
Yeah.
if it's like 200 cubic feet, which means nothing to you, but a couple pallets worth of items, household good and personal
Yeah.
effects, and they're like, I'm going to save some money by packing, but it's some delicate stuff. I would say, maybe the juice isn't worth the squeeze there. Let us pack it because the number's not going to be, it's the delta, the differential is not going to be that much.
Yeah.
But when you get into some of the bigger jobs, out of like New York or Seattle, where, labor's fairly expensive. It's a bigger, but it's a bigger job then. Yeah, you're going to save bigger money, but
Yeah.
you're going to do more work. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting near that age right now where I would actually consider pay somebody else to do it.
Yeah,
Unless I'm,
you know,
wrapping towels and stuff like that, putting them in a box so I don't have to worry it can't break, right?
right, right. But everything else, you got to
Everything
do.
else,
That's right.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I can look back to my younger years. And I worked for a big company, and they moved me somewhere, and they said, "Okay, we're moving you," and I say, "Okay," and the team would show up, and I just that.
Oh, really? That's what it was like. I've never gone through that before.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember moving. I moved to Cleveland, Ohio, once from Atlanta. Many many years ago, and they showed up and took care of it, and that was it.
Yeah,
It
that's
was,
nice.
it was a beautiful thing. Yes.
Well, Rob, great information. I'm glad you shared it. I always learn new things when I talk to you about international moving.
Great. I'm glad. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for me to just kind of go through it as well, because it's
Yeah.
going through the whole process.
All right. Well, we'll put your number up there on the screen. So if somebody
Right.
wants to reach out to you, questions, get started in the process, whatever, you're one of the great guys to talk to about this topic.
I think so. Thanks, Jim.
All right, Rob. Well, I'll catch up with you next week then. For those of you watching, hope you enjoyed it. It was good for us to be here talking about it again. Visit the website, sdcinternationalshipping.com. Share the link with a friend, and we'll see you in the next episode.
That's right. Hey, good to see you, Jim. Hope everything's going well there in Sarasota, and you're staying cool. It's not too hot there yet, is it?
No, not yet, but it's getting there. It's
All right.
May. We're looking for 90 plus.
Yeah, we've been good here. It's still 50s in the morning and low 70s in the day. We're lucky still. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.